Hey there, guys. We've got news for Global for August 10th, and this week joining me once again to discuss the news is StarUltros. So you can say hello again.
Hello, everyone. It's everyone's favorite aquatic creature. So set away your Aquan killer, please. Thank you.
So this week we've got a little bit of a surprise. Arcane Scholar. Oh god, we discussed how to say this. Did we decide it was Kier? I think we
Yeah,
decided.
yeah, it's Kier. Arcane Scholar Kier is what I'd say.
Okay, so let us know in the comments how wrong we are for the pronunciation.
I'm ready to take it.
But this is a unit that was originally from the Chinese server. They've been reusing some of the old Chinese units. We had Melissa, we had Nora, and now we have Kier. So that's pretty cool. The units are, of course, always completely global original as far as the kits go. They only reuse the sprites and the animations, I guess, to cut down on artwork. But yeah, he's a brand new unit we didn't expect before. So what do you think, just sprite wise, for him, StarUltros?
Well, it's pretty cool. I mean, the work there seems very cool with the firestorm around him and all. So we know it's going to be a fire unit. But then when we look at the kit preview we have, we're going to have a little surprise for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like him, and I always like seeing global original units.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we don't get males too often, so amen to that.
That is completely true. So he has an Armory Step Up, and this is a new type of armor. I think it's Armory number 4, I believe.
Yeah.
So this new, we're gonna go over the gear in a moment. It's some of it is pretty decent, but this guy, if you're going for his pity, seems to be kind of expensive. So I added it up before we started recording. If you go for his pity, it's gonna cost 50,000 lapis, which is really freaking high for a non-premium. Now, before people jump on me in the comments, I am including the last step of his step up, which technically speaking does not have to be done. You could go 5 steps, skip the ticket, and then go directly to the follow-up, and you would save 6k. But I think that is such a goofy decision. Like, you should never do that. Like, if you're going this far, get your payoff. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I mean, the armory ticket for 6K is a good deal, especially with what we're getting there. As you said, there's some pretty good stuff there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so 50,000 lapis to pity this guy. So our prices just seem to be going kind of upwards. And the reason is they've removed the pity ticket from the banner, which means you have to go an additional half lap on this to get your final pity ticket. So it's 10, you get 5 here, then you get up to 7 here, then I go again, you get 9, and then you have to go again halfway to get that 10th pity ticket. And that's unfortunate, just like the prices are going up.
Yeah, I absolutely hate that they did that. And like, we know why they did it, because if you do one poll on, well, 2 polls on that step up, you're gonna go like, okay, I'm gonna put an extra 5K so I can get the free poll. That's just what they want you to do, to spend more.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And before we get into the unit itself, let's jump real quick down here to the armory ticket. So if you do the full banner step up, you get one of these 3 items. Only 3 items, but they're, well, decent. Okay, so this one is 100 attack power helm. I'm assuming it's going to be an actual helm, and then boost 50% LB damage. So this is decent. Do you know by memory, Ultros, how high attack power Graph's hat is, the other equivalent to this?
I don't even have it, but I think it's 60. Is it 65 or 75, something like that? From
It's
memory, I think it's not that high.
Yeah, it's somewhere around like 60, 65, something like that, and 50 LB damage. So this is overall a pretty good upgrade to Graph's hat. That being said, Graph's is the hat. This is probably going to be a helm based on the name and the graphic. So not
For
quite
sure.
the same, but it's still decent.
Yeah, and it's going to synergize with that equip helm, helm mastery that we got earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely. The other one is Strength of Friendship. Strength of Fellowship. This is 75% equipment spirit, basically no matter what you're using, double hand or dual wielding. And it also gives 50 killers to humans, demons, and beast. This, I would say, among the 3 is probably, in my opinion, the weakest. What do you think?
Agreed. That's exactly what I think, and it's been designed specifically for Elena in mind. That's all I can see. But I hate that 75%. Like, who's going to need specifically 75%? Just
Mm-hmm.
go 100 or go 50, but 75 is just weird.
Exactly. It's very very confusing. And then the last one, my personal favorite, is tower defense. 60% defense and spirit, 40% to every resist, and full status immunity. I
Yep.
love this. I think this is really slot efficient for your tanks, or even just for like your regular units that need to bulk up a little bit. This seems great.
It does. The only issue I have with it is just, just me complaining and being greedy. But why not add stop and charm to it? Please. We could just go the extra mile.
That would make it just the automatic instant pick if they had that too. That'd be so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the thing is, I'm sure a lot of people are going to say, like, how often do you really need defenses? Less often than you need DPS stuff. Like, this is, honestly speaking, if someone owned all three of these, you would probably be equipping these top two way more often than you would actually equip this. But I'm just a big fan of tank items, tank support and stuff. So I'll
And
probably pick
but
this.
yeah, I mean, it's not just, like DPS, it's always good to have some big damage, but the problem is sometimes you're running out of ailment resistance things that you can put on your units, or you're trying to go for a tankless dark visions and you need that extra elemental resistance, and you can have a little bit there with the ailment protection at the same time without losing too much DPS. If you can get enough from the materia to fill out your true dual wheel, double hand, or whatever else you need from the killers, so that can be very effective as well there. I think it's a really good thing to get, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, for the helmets, we already have the Celestite diadem, no, not diadem, crown, whatever, the helmet of the Clash of Will helmet. That's already better. Technically, if you don't need the LB damage, you can still use Ricard's helmet. That's also slightly better. So I still feel like the defensive option to me is the best one, and then I would go for the helmet second.
Mm-hmm. Same here for me. For me, I'd personally, if I had three tickets, I'd go in order: Tower Defense, Warrior's Helm, and then Strength of Fellowship as the last one.
Hmm.
Mostly because the combo of killers is like three super easy killers. Like Human and Demon is all over the place, and then we've got multiple 100% Beast killers already, like A2's STMR, Irvine's STMR, etc. So Beast is pretty easy as well.
Yep,
So
I think.
that's the
Uh,
armory stuff.
mhm.
And then we've got Arcane Kier. So he is an SLB unit with only the mage roll tag. So we can see his SLB here is fire damage. So fire, magic, and rod in peril, and fire in peril. It's morale damage as well. So this is a little strange that he is a fire unit, and also, as you mentioned, we'll just jump real quick down here. He also has ice in his kit. You see his Magnus is ice damage of LB, or ice amplify and deal ice morale damage. The funny thing is, this Clash of Wills coming up is not weak to fire or ice. Like neither one. It's weak.
Wow.
It's weak to lightning, wind, and dark. And we're getting
Mhm.
a Clash of Wills unit that is apparently, his SOB is fire locked, and then his Magnus is ice locked. So, do you think he's gonna have like a third element in his kit, for like maybe a cooldown or something, or a Magnus, or do you think he's just like showed up to the wrong month?
I'm pretty sure that guy is just not at the right time, and they just want us to pull for him and keep him in the pocket until the next Clash will after. Uh, if they give him a third element, I mean, it's not going to be on another Magnus. It's not going to be his LB for sure. Well, could be his base LB, but that'd be a bit weird. Not that we don't have wonky SLB units in global, but whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Like the time of it seems a bit weird. But I guess he's going to work well with future units that are coming down the line as well.
Mm-hmm. And then his vision card will pop up here real quick. Now, this vision card, I feel, is just like low quality. I feel like they have gone really far backwards on vision card. This is almost worse than like the JP series cards, kind of. It's
Yeah, that's what it feels like. That's true.
and it's just like 130 magic, a series locked flat stats, and some generic killers that are pretty easy to gear for, and that is it. No LB damage, no percentage stats, nothing. It's just like this card is like what? What happened?
It's a throwaway card. You're just gonna have it, bring it to level 10, and never use it, or
Mm-hmm.
basically never use it unless you really need the killer somewhere. But they're easy to gear with your materia.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Strange vision card. And
Mm.
then the unit. So finally, we don't have a weapon STMR. Are we excited?
I mean, I was when I saw it, but then I looked at the stats. I
And
mean, just
it's
88 magic?
this is just Shantoto's the 5-star Shantoto's robe, but
So,
worse because that actually gives 10% MP per turn. This
oh,
doesn't
it's
even have
true.
that.
But that has three more magic to make up for it. Three.
Oh. Well, it is 88 versus 85, so we're trading 10% mana regen for 3 magic. That is just a top tier value right there.
Wow.
And the funniest thing is, this unit probably won't even want to use his own STMR because the Clash of Wills robe is dramatically superior to this.
It is, yeah.
It's this. So I guess this is their way of saying, be careful what you ask for. You didn't want weapon STMRs. We'll just give you trash tier non-weapon STMRs instead. Like this whole unit, like this vision card, everything just feels out of place and low quality on design. Like I don't get. Was he supposed to be a throwaway unit? Is that what's going on here? I don't.
I don't know because the units that came from the Chinese server, Melissa was a big hit.
Mm-hmm.
Nora was one, right?
Yes, Nora. Mm-hmm.
She was like she's a mixed bag, and I think until we see his kit, he's still a mixed bag or a complete miss. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll.
Yeah. Yeah, his kit could definitely be amazing. Don't get me wrong, because so far we can only judge what we see, and what we see is low quality, like super troll right here. Like this is literally a 5-year-old rainbow STMR, but worse. But worse.
Yeah, and then his TMR doesn't make much to cover for it either. It's meh
Mm-hmm.
at best. You got 30 MP. Who knows?
Oh yeah,
That could be useful on someone who needs empty.
the trust mastery. Yeah, this is pretty super whatever too. Like why isn't it 200% fill rate like Prompto's TMR? The rainbow unit. Gee, it's like it's all over the place. This is terrible across the board.
Mm,
And then the leader skill is basically just Rick leader skill again. So same thing as Malphasey, same thing as Rick. Copy paste. Literally exactly.
yeah. So if you have Elena, you should bring her as the leader skill anyway.
Mm-hmm. Classy Wells, absolutely. And then he does have this. This is hopeful right here. So activate area effect. That's the game turn for fields. So he
Yeah.
does have a field in his kit. So do you think this is going to be an amplify field or an imperil field? What do you think?
I'm pretty sure that's going to be an imperil field because it's deal fire magic damage and reduce fire resistance for all enemies and activate area effect. So I have to think it's going to go further for the imperil there.
Okay, so that could be really good. I think our best fire imperil field is a tie between Nora and Tyvis, both of them at 35, I think. So do you think he's going to be our first 50?
Doesn't also Ingus have a 35 as well now?
Oh,
Is
he
it
does.
40?
Yes. No. Yeah, Ingus is also 35, so all three of those are tied for 35 as the best.
So, well, I would hope that he has a 50. That would make fire a lot better. Maybe that would encourage people to pull for him.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if he has big damage as well, he would fit very well on a fire team. Genesis, him, Rain, that would be a pretty killer combo. Who knows? But I'm carefully hopeful.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and then as we mentioned already, he has an Ice Magnus once per battle, and this Magnus can only be used in Clash of Wills. That's a very fine print here, don't miss that. So in Dark Visions, he cannot use this Ice skill. So,
Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah, I mean, he's not supposed to be an ice unit, I guess, but It just sucks that they do this. You know, they lock certain elements, certain skills to only Clash of Wills. We've seen the same with Malphasy, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Anyway, a few weeks ago, and I didn't like what they hid from her in Clash of Wills. Like her wind support would have been really good in Dark Visions, and it's not that it's so OP that someone shouldn't have it. Like Sylvie's been doing it for 2 years or a
Exactly.
year. Anyway, she's been doing it for a while. Yeah.
Yep. So we will have to wait until Wednesday evening to get the remainder of his kit. If we do get the data mine early enough, I will go ahead and do the usual early look video, and then we can get a better idea of, pass or fail.
Yeah.
So the other stuff we're getting is a rerun because this is, I guess, a global exclusive week. Global didn't want to make a global exclusive event, so we're just rerunning the Angeal event. So, yay.
Yeah, go and get it if you haven't gotten it 2 months ago.
So it doesn't mention if they're going to reset the rewards. So either we're all going to do it again, or people that did it last time will just have the deadest week ever. I guess.
Wow. Yeah, it's just going to be logging in for a week. I hope that they reset it at least.
Definitely, definitely. So we are now getting Cloud's Silver Crowns. We were looking for this last week. I guess it was delayed 1 week. Either that or they heard the complaints and decided to put it in, for us this week. What do you think? Do you think it was always planned to come out here, or do you think they saw feedback and were like, well, I guess we're not going to skip him? What is your prediction?
I think that what happened is it was planned to come there, like the upgrades were planned to come this week, but they didn't plan on making the event for the Silver Crowns. But with the backlash that they've added in the Silver Crowns instead of just them being upgrades like Cyan and Darkfina.
Makes sense.
I mean, we're getting another rerun of something that's FF7, so it kind of fits in.
True. So this one is, they've changed it this time. This time you can bring Final Fantasy VII or the Rebellion. At the current time, I think the Rebellion tag doesn't really have units on Global. Have they gone and backflagged units to Rebellion on Global yet?
They have, but not the global exclusive, that's for sure. Well, not that I've noticed, but
okay.
I know that some of them have been added the Rebellion tag. And they've just done this in preparation for Lightning that's going to be coming in a week or two, I guess.
Okay, yeah. I just wasn't actually sure if they had actually gone back and done it yet, because a bunch of these, they have to go and add them to older units. So, if they do have them, that's good. So some notable Rebellion units on Global already would be Cloud. Who else, StarUltros? I can't even think of who is big Rebellions on Global currently.
There's both Clouds. There's Tifa. There's
Tifa.
Barrett.
Yuffie.
So basically FF7. Yuffie as well. Yeah, Yuffie is a very big Rebellion unit, especially because she synergizes with the element. If you have the whole Rebellion team with Vanille and Saz and all. Yep. And we still see her being used to this day in Dark Visions and JP. So.
So this one shouldn't be too terrible of a fight. We do have two different categories to go in here. We've had this fight before. It's not super challenging, but then again, it always depends on tuning. Maybe they buffed or nerfed the numbers. We'll have to see that on Thursday. Yeah. And as far as Cloud's skills himself, he's getting some new upgrades, specifically a 150 Amplify. His LB gets better. He gets a lot more flat stats. He does get True Brave Shift as well. He can swap on demand. And basically his entire kit gets upgraded, which is real nice.
I think he's probably the unit with the most flat stats that you can get. It's crazy with everything, every equipment you can give him, and with every upgrades you can give him, he's getting so much flat stats that he actually becomes good.
Definitely. And he does qualify for the Lightning Rebellion category. She's not here yet, but we're expecting her very, very soon. She's another 750 leader skill like Ace. And she herself is a Lightning element unit, which means you kind of want to put mostly lightning units on the party, and he is an option to go on that party. And after his upgrades, he hits decently hard. Not the hardest ever, but good enough. Good enough to justify the slot.
Yeah, and I think he's getting his leader skill as well there. Was his
Oh, I didn't
lightning
even...
or was his just Final Fantasy 7?
Um,
I think it's FF7 for him.
I don't know. Let's find out. So, Cloud remake. Yeah, how is he? Oh God, hold on. What is all clouds?
Yeah. It's Cloud remake,
Here
and
it
you have to
is.
go JP.
And JP. Here we go. Okay, so what leader skill is he getting? Only
FF7.
Final Fantasy 7. Okay, so Cloud Strife must have gotten the lightning version.
Yeah.
Okay, but that actually came later. That didn't come with this update, so Global is not delaying it or skipping it yet. They still may, but it's not due yet, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that'll actually be pretty good for this fight because, you know, if you don't have Zack, like I personally don't, he can be your leader, and you can build a Tifa, Sonnen, Yuffie, Barrett can be your tank. Like, you can definitely do a really good team for this fight.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, what this boss did was some fixed damage, status ailments, and that's about it. I think he would put up mitigations as well. So if you have something to dispel him, I think was useful. But he wouldn't be too much of a problem anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then we are getting Chamber of Seals updates. So basically, they're mailing you out a ton more keys. If you're a newer player, you've been going through your backlog. Now you have more keys. They're adding more events to the thing. Basically, they're just doing an update, more Chamber of Seals stuff. It looks like we're still not getting the blue keys, and the blue is from old story events. So sad face on that. But we are now getting, I forget which one. One of these is for the equipment quest that we didn't have currently. So I guess now we're getting the equipment gear. So if you don't have Rain, Sword, Sephiroth's Katana, etc., you can now get that.
Mm-hmm. It's probably going to be as well to maybe to rerun the Buster Sword there for the upgrades.
Oh yeah, that too.
But we're still gonna only have one Buster Sword, only one, that can be upgraded.
Mm-hmm. Makes me very sad for that.
Yeah.
And now we're getting part 2 of the Item World update. So now they are going to, in addition to what we already have, you can now get the universal rares. So any rare can go on any weapon. You can mix and match them. And this is when you can go really crazy with like meteor weapons. So
yeah, that's something I was looking forward to get all that MP on Crimson Genesis sword, to get all that LB fill that you can get on some equipment as well. There's a lot of things that you can get everywhere that's really, really nice. You can really grind your weapons now for something like a real perfect roll, and it's not as gruesome as it was before to just go through over and over until you would get the perfect roll. You can just wait until you get the one ability you want to save it on your weapon.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I will have to start running Item World yet again every single day. Sad face.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's always more motivating when it's at the beginning of the month because you get tickets out of it.
Mm-hmm. True. Very true. Yeah. Normally, what I'll do is I'll run it until I get up to, I think it's 80,000 points or whatever, where you get that 1/10 Neovisions ticket.
Uh-huh.
And at that point, I'll stop unless I like specifically have to run it for an item, because the rewards beyond that are like LB pots and that's it. Pretty
They're
much
useless. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if you've been playing for a long time, if you're a player that just started, obviously you want to go through it all so you can get the money, so you can get the pots. It's really helpful, but otherwise, get the ticket and wait until next month.
Mm-hmm. And then the only other thing for this week is we are getting an announcement for the live stream. So Tony and Justin, we're not getting Hiroki this time. It's going to be on, Sunday, 7 p.m. PDT. And this is this coming Sunday, so they're going to be hyping up something coming next week. It's probably too soon for Clash of Wills, but what do you think their live stream is going to be about?
Well, that's what confuses me, because usually they have the live stream before the unit releases, but now we're getting the unit. So are they just giving us Kier this week as a throwaway unit, and then the real cow unit is going to be next week, or in 2 weeks? No, next week. So they couldn't be hyping it up in this stream. That would make sense, but be a bit weird in the timing, I'd say. Like getting two global exclusive, well, global units in a row doesn't happen too often.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they want to address some of the things that we've brought up to them lately. Who knows?
That would certainly be very nice if they actually paid attention to the community.
It would be. Well, I mean, I've seen on Reddit a lot of people that would tag Justin, for the descriptions, for the missing crowns, for missing enhancements that we haven't been getting. Now we're getting clouds, but who knows what else is going to be skipped down the line? So it's now that we need to raise the spears.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we will see all of that on Sunday
Yep.
and see what happens. But that's pretty much it. So just based on what you've seen so far, without being able to see the data mine yet, do you think this is a unit you're going to want to go for, Ultros, or are you just like, I really got to see the kit first?
Honestly, I think this might be my first global skip in a long time.
Ooh, okay.
I'm not very hyped about the unit because he seems to be a little bit all over the place. Maybe his fire support is going to be really, really great, and I'm going to go for it. I have the Lapis for it. Maybe I will. But just from what we've got there, I'm not as excited as I could be for a global unit. I'm a bit disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, I'm kind of feeling the same way, honestly. Like I said, the low quality of his STMR, the low quality of the Vision card, the fact that he doesn't match Clash of Wills at all, the fact that his Magnus doesn't line up with his SLB, like all of this is like a bunch of red flags. But for me, the final decision always comes when you see the entire kit.
Yeah.
So Wednesday evening, I will be able to see entirely if he is, good or bad, and we will have to make it a final decision at that point.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm still going to be following the data as soon as it drops, reading the kit, and then I'll make my decision. But I'm not hyped as much as I was for the previous ones.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thanks again for joining me. Kind of last minute. We had the news drop relatively early today.
Yeah, and before we end the video, a few weeks ago, Titus sang. Weeks before, Foxy sang. Was it Foxy? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I have horrible memory. And now here I am, myself, offering my voice to your viewers because they are competing, and I want to sing a song to unite them, a song that was written to unite people in a time of need. So
Uh,
if you'd let me.
all right. Let's hear it. Let's go for it.
All right, so if people didn't know, I'm trying to unite Spira, so it's 1,000 words. Excuse me. I know that you're hiding things, using gentle words to shelter me. Your words were like a dream, but dreams could never fool me. Not that easily. I acted so distant then, didn't say goodbye before you left. But I was listening. You'll fight your battles far from me, far too easily.
That was amazing.
I'm
Amazing.
not done. I'm not done though. If you,
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
I want to make it at least to the chorus.
Go for it.
It's just two more parts. Save your tears, 'cause I'll come back. I could hear that you whispered as you walked through that door. But still I swore to hide the pain when I turned back the pages. Shouting might have been the answer. What if I'd cried my eyes out and begged you not to depart? But now I'm not afraid to say what's in my heart. 'Cause 1,000 words call out through the ages, they'll fly to you. Even though I can't see, I know they're reaching you. Suspended on silver wings. Oh, 1,000 words, 1,000 embraces will cradle you, making all of your weary days seem far away. They'll hold you forever. Now,
I think your microphone cut out at the very end, but
no,
it was
maybe I went too high.
it was still good. Yeah, I think at the very end your microphone started like skipping a little bit.
Damn it!
But
I should have gotten the good fun. The good microphone.
But it was still excellent, excellent. So people that don't know, that is from Final Fantasy X2, and you should definitely not play the game. Just
Agreed.
Listen to the music on YouTube or something, or listen to StarUltros sing. But the game itself is that's a whole nother topic. That game is just strange.
It's so sad though, because Final Fantasy X was such a great game, and then they followed up with this, and we're like,
Oh yeah.
Oh.
It was like the beginning is like so perfect. Where like Yuna dressed in all the summoner's serious garb, and then like she sheds her entire outfit, and now she's like a K-pop star. It's like it sets the tone for the entire game, and the whole game just goes downhill from there.
It's true, and it was really out of left field. You weren't expecting it. It's just like, okay, what's happening? And in the preview, like I remember playing it from a demo from another game, and like, okay, so Yuna now is a singer. Okay, got it. Spoiler alert, turns out it wasn't her. Someone stole her clothes, but whatever. That was a bit of a weird game. She found a sphere showing her someone who looked like her boyfriend, and she was like, okay, I'm going on a quest.
Yep. But all right, thanks again for joining. Went a little off the rails with the X2 stuff, but it was still fun.
Yeah, for sure. Always happy to join.
All right, later.
Bye, everyone.